Hi everyone, Ron here from L.T.L Tutoring Central. And this Friday's video is a math video. Don't be afraid, math is not too scary. And it's about measures of central tendency. And this one is specifically about how to calculate the mean average. When you have a series of numbers, sometimes you want to know what the average is. In other words, more or less what the central number is. And there are a few ways to do that. There's the mean, the median, the mode. There's a few others, but those are the three biggies. And today we're talking about the mean average. And here we have a couple of series, A and B, and we're going to have a closer look in the next slide. And I'm going to explain to you exactly, step by step, how to calculate the mean average of a series of numbers. So taking the first series listed on the previous screen, we have 2, 9, 12, 5, 7, 14, 45, 25, and 7. Now when calculating the mean average, you don't need to put the numbers in order. It's okay if they're in order, it's okay if they're out of order. But you do need to add up all the numbers. So 2 plus 9 plus 12 plus 5 plus 7 plus 14 plus 45 plus 25 plus 7 equals 126. And then all you have to do is take that total and divide it by the number of numbers you have. So if you count that up, you see there are 9 numbers in all. So we take 126 and we divide by 9, and that gives us the number 14. So the mean average for this series is 14. Now let's try that again with the second series, B, 92, 58, 66, 84, 35, 98, 76, and 72. If we add all of those numbers up, we come to a total of 584. Then you just divide this total by the number of numbers. And in this case, we had 8 numbers in our series, so we divide 584 by 8, and we get the number 73. So the mean average for this series of numbers is 73. Now here's a little caution. When you get your answer, when you get the mean average, have a look back at your series to make sure that it makes sense. So take your smallest number and your largest number in the series, and your mean average should fall somewhere in between. Now this doesn't guarantee that you have the right answer, but it certainly helps. So for example, in the first series of numbers, our smallest number was 2 and our largest was 44. And our average was 14. So that falls between 2 and 44. So at least we know that is correct. If we ended up with a number 46, we know that is impossible. The average has to fall in between the smallest and largest number, somewhere in between. So anything below or above just doesn't make any sense at all. So the second set of numbers or series of numbers, the smallest number was 35, the largest was 92, and our average was 73. So again, we can see that we've fallen in between the smallest and largest numbers. So at least on that score, we are okay. If we had a 28, we know immediately we're wrong. We've done something. Maybe we didn't add in a number. Maybe we did the division incorrectly or divided by the wrong number. We'd have to go back and check. Again, if we had a 75 or a 92, we also know this is outside of the realm of reality. So we'd have to go back and check to see what went wrong. Now, sometimes you're going to get a decimal answer. In other words, you're not always going to get a perfect whole number. So for example, in this series for C, we have 8 plus 10 plus 14 plus 17 plus 9 plus 6 equals 64. And when we take that 64 and we divide by the number of numbers, and here we have 6, we get 10.666 repeating. If you did this by hand, it would just keep on going. If you did it on a calculator, it would likely show you 10.6666667. Depending on how many digits you have on your calculator, it will round, or you should round, to 10.67. That's if you're asked to round to 2 digits. If you're rounding to 1 digit, it would be 10.7. But often we round to 2 digits after the decimal. And remember the check. This number is between the lowest or the smallest number of 6 and the largest number of 17, so at least we are within reason with our answer. One other thing to remember when you're doing any math really is to remember the units of measurement. So when you're doing the mean average, you need to do this as well. When you calculate, you don't necessarily have to put that in. So for D, I have 75% plus 88% plus 79% plus 56% equals 298. I didn't really need to put those percentage signs in that part of the work, but when I get my answer, so when I take 298 and divide by 4, because that's the number of numbers I have, I get 74.5, and now I need to make sure I put that percent in, because for my final answer, we're dealing with percentages. I need 74.5%, not just 74.5. Similarly, if you have a measurement like centimeters, and we have another example for E there, all those numbers add up to 140. When I divide by the number of numbers, which is 6, I have 23.3, and that's rounded, and that's centimeters. So in my final answer, I want to make sure that I include the centimeters. If you're doing it for school, you could lose marks if you don't show that unit of measurement in your final answer, even though you may not need to show it in the actual work. I could have added those all up probably without the centimeters there. Most teachers would not require that, but in your final answer you definitely need your unit of measurement. So there you have it. Fairly easy really to calculate the mean average, particularly if you use a calculator, although I like doing it by hand as well. It keeps the mental math skills up to speed. So try a few on paper, try a few with a calculator, have fun with it, and you'll see that calculating the mean average is really no big deal. I'll probably be doing videos soon on mode and median. We do other videos too, but I'll do a few more math videos, and I'm also making a course for fractions in math, so I hope to have that ready in the next few weeks. My name again is Ron Johnson. I'm with L.T.L. Tutoring Central, and there's my contact information. You can visit the website at www.tutoringcentral.com, or you can email me at tutoringcentral@hotmail.com, and there may be some other links below this video as well. You can always take some courses. Remember to subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, ask a question. I'll get back to you, and always good to stay in touch. In the meantime, have fun with math, and if you need to, look over the video a few times or check back when you're doing the mean average at school just to make sure that you're on track. Bye for now.